Welcome back to Up Until Now, Your Next Chapter. This is the podcast where every single episode is about unlocking valuable insights from industry leaders that will help you achieve dominant marketplace. So we're going to talk to you today about the follow-up. When you meet new people or you have people in your database already that are existing clients or prospects, if you don't work that database, then your database basically is useless. So we're going to talk about some of the key strategies that I've used that have been very successful in growing my real estate business. In fact, all of my businesses. So let's get started. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is how you stay in touch with them is by using what I call my newsletter. It's really an item of value. As long as you're sending your clients an item of value, something that gives them tips, maybe it's a blog, something that triggers you to stay top of mind. That's what you really want. You want to stay top of mind always, so that when your clients say, hey, I need a new childcare facility for my children, they have you in mind. I need a realtor, they have you in mind. Insurance, they have you in mind. Staying top of mind is key. So I do that with a done for you newsletter. It's done for you. I buy it online and I can tweak it so I can customize it to be in line with my brand and my messaging. So that's what I do. I do this newsletter. Now, let's suppose you're in a childcare business. I'm just picking on that one today for no other reason other than it's on top of my mind. So what could you do if you had a childcare business? One of the things you could do is you could send out maybe a monthly or quarterly newsletter, send it home with the child. And on that newsletter, it has a little bit of information about what's going on, what's going to come up in the next month. You could have an activity that the mom and the child could do together. You could add a recipe that they could do together, a child-friendly recipe, and they could do that. And perhaps it could be a list of books that you recommend for them. Again, I do this with my newsletter, not with childcare though, obviously, but I give tips and advice about buying or selling real estate. I give business books. I talk about the podcast. So think about it as, what could you say in a newsletter to stay top of mind? Now, newsletters can also be created in Constant Contact they have templates. MailChimp, you could use them. I believe they're a free service. Constant Contact, there is a cost involved, but it's minimal. And so I recommend those. If you want to get a little bit more creative, then you could use somebody in Fiverr or Upwork. Those people are freelancers and they're happy to help you. You need to scrub them and go through them and vet them very well, though. Okay. They're from all over the world. Some speak really well in English and others not so much. And you do have to often check their punctuation and grammar. So those are a few of them. There is also, I'm trying to think of who else there is for websites. So, but those are the main ones. I use in my real estate business a company called Fast Newsletters, and they also cater, I believe, to the mortgage industry. So if you and insurance. So if you're in one of those categories, all you have to do to sign up, and they're very inexpensive. I mean, very expensive. They offer both direct mail and also you can print them yourselves and mail them, or you can have them an email version. In any case, I can get you a 10% discount when you put in the code Zelda 10%. They'll give you a 10% discount. Nothing in it for me other than I'm passing along the good news for you. So newsletters are a great way to stay on top of people's minds when you have a business that can work for that. What else can you do to stay top of mind? One of my favorite things to do is to create an event. Now, I like to have events and invite my past customers and my current customers, and then sometimes I'll bring in some really good prospects. And I'll usually have a couple of events a year. One of my favorite ones is to do in the summer. I have an ice cream social. And this is one that if you have customers that have families, this is a great idea for those families because they love to bring their children for ice cream. So what I do is I get with one of the companies ahead of time. I use Sweet Frogs. I've used Killwinds. I've used several different companies. I'll go there many months in advance to reserve the date so that they won't double book. In other words, they won't book me as a realtor and another realtor at the same time. Okay. So I've got mine scheduled. And what I'll do is, as my guests arrive at the appropriate time, I give them a little ticket. And then when they get to the counter, they hand the clerk the ticket. And then at the end of the event, I will pay for all of it. And it's a very inexpensive way. And it brings a lot of goodwill, and people will remember you. You will stay top of mind. So one of the ways I like to invite people, using video. So usually about 4 weeks before the event, what I'm going to do is send them a video, and the video will say, save the date, ice cream party, or ice cream social, something like that. And I'll just start sending that out to my database, those that I want to invite. Just save the date. And then probably about 2 weeks prior, I'm going to send them another invite. And again, it's via the text message video. And I'll tell them, just respond yes here if you're going to come and how many, or you can email me at, and I give them my email address and they can email me and let me know that way. So I usually have a pretty good turnout. I've been doing this for a number of years now, and it's very successful. I do it in the month of July because July is National Ice Cream Month. So that's when I do it. That's a great one, doing this ice cream event. Now, I've also done a pie event. I've done a couple of different pie events. So one is in March, I believe it's in March, is National Pie Day, P-I Day. So I did it last year for the first time. It was very successful. We have one of these places called Papa Murphy's where you can pre-order your pizza. It's all made for you, but you take it home and you cook it. And so I had everybody meet me there. You know, I invited people again via the video message that I was having a pie day, but mine was called a PIE day, a pizza pie day. And they would tell me what kind of pizza they wanted. And then they would come and I would greet them at the pizza parlor and they would pick up their pizza. And I spent some time chit-chatting with them and staying top of mind. The other pie party is in November when it's Thanksgiving. So what I would do is I used, like, you could use Costco or any of those big box kind of places, and you pre-order because they want to make sure they have enough, because believe me, a lot of people do this. But you pre-order the pies, and then you ask people in advance what kind of pie they would like. And then you let them know they're going to be picking up the pies on this day between this hour and this hour. And then they come to your office or your location and you have them pick up their pies. Now, I always thought that people would come and they would pick up their pie and then they would leave. That's not what happened. No, they ended up staying for the entire time, and we just made it a party. It was a lot of fun. I served apple cider and some little donut holes, and they pick up their pie. And it's a great time to get together. It works out really beautifully. Now, the third thing that I like to do is small get together online. So I'm a member of many different groups. I have a private group page. And what I do there to stay top of mind is I like to post videos there. So it could be in the groups. I could post them on my YouTube channel. Again, what I do with that is I'm always trying to make comments about what they're talking about, what my groups are talking about, rather than it all being about me. I will also, when I'm posting, I'm going to post things about content. I'll give them tips, advice for buyers, for sellers, some networking advice, different things like that. I'll promote the different speakers that are my guests on the podcast. So those are some of the ways that I like to stay top of mind for all of my database. Again, if you have a database and you're not working it, then it's totally worthless. So work your database. Remember, newsletters are great, and that's great for a direct mail piece. Events are great for in-person and getting to know your clients better. And then online, you can do group chats, private pages, post videos on YouTube and Instagram. That is really hot right now. In fact, let me add this to the videos. If you're doing a video, create a 30-second script. that you can post on your YouTube channel or wherever, and then take parts of it, cut it down to 15 seconds, and take that 15-second and post it to as a reel on your Instagram. So those are some takeaways for you for how to stay top of mind for your clients, your prospects. And as always, this is Up Until Now. This is Zelda, your go-to expert.